man, it's that sting. I gotta work on that. That's a bug. That's a bug. That's a bug. Man. Anyway. Hey, patrol members. Welcome back to the Tales and Mysteries of Mojave Patrol Halloween edition. And as you can see, I'm kind of spruced up here a bit. Got some Halloween stuff going on here. It's still a little bright out. It's only 6:25. And I hope you guys have been okay. Hope everything's been okay for you guys. It's been okay for me. But I've been really busy. And I had a little cold. Everything is delayed. My wife had a big time tooth problem. We had to take care of that. Grape Kool-Aid. You know what that means. But she's doing fine. She's on the mend. Everything's going good. So what do we got for tonight? Got a spooky story. Got a not so spooky whiskey. Got a pretty damn good cigar. So let's, let's dive into it. Tonight's cigar is a returning favorite. You've seen it before on the channel. It's called the Nestor. It is my favorite cigar. I've only got like 4 left. And I went to order some more. And the price is skyrocketed. To like $70 for 20. Good draw. Ooh. Big. And we're back in the hot weather. We're back in the hot weather, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the hot weather. It was, oh my gosh. Let me adjust this a bit. There we go. It was in the 60s for about a week. And then bang, back up to almost 100. And then next week it's supposed to drop off to the 70s. But I guess it's that time of year. Get fluctuating weather. I know some people in the country have really cold weather. And some people in the country have really hot and dry weather. So we're kind of in between. We've had a pretty, for us, wet fall. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get to the point. Parrots. A lot of parrots out. A lot of weird stories about those parrots. I've heard all kinds of crazy stories about them. Back in the 40s, a pet store burned down and the parrots escaped and they proliferated. A truck turned over on the freeway back in the 50s and the parrots escaped and they proliferated. A guy was caught smuggling parrots into the United States, and when the police raided his place, he let them all go. and they proliferated. So pick your favorite story and stick to it. Stick to it. So what do we got tonight? There are two parrots right there. Man, that nester is good. That nester is good. And what did we chase that with? A little bit of grape Kool-Aid. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have Sagamore Spirit Rye. Sagamore Spirit. Since 1909. It's all about the barrel, Sagamore says. Sagamore Spirit Barrel Select Program is a unique Maryland-style blend of 6-year-old straight rye whiskeys. Each barrel of high rye is expertly blended with a low rye mash built by our distilling room. No two expressions taste the same, and you are guaranteed to enjoy a one-of-a-kind product. In a copy and paste world, our Barrel Select program offers independence and individuality. Find your flavor and share its spirit. And you can go to sagamore.com and find out more about the whiskey. And it says, savor our spirit responsibly. And then on the left, it tells you that if you drink it, your kids are going to be born with 3 eyes. You're going to wreck your car and kill your grandkids and run over orphans in the crosswalk and all that stuff. Supposedly since 1909. This is from barrel 116, location F4R4, inspected by D. Hand bottled for Turtle Creek wine and spirits. 110 proof. Wicked. So let's open this up, huh? And see what this is like. There we go. Wow. That's really good. Where's my, here it is. Healthy dollop. Sagamore Spirit right there. Fine cigar. That is pretty strong. I smell green mown fields. It's hard to tell. The ruddy waters of a tumbling river. crisp fall air. Wow, pretty good. Prost. Wow. That is very strong. That is very strong. Wow. It wouldn't take much of this to put you under the table, let me tell you. It's got a beautiful color. You can probably see it in the dying light of the day. We're going to take that nice and slow. Nice and slow. That's the way to do it. Nice and slow. Put down in the comments if you know what movie's that from. Well, that's a burner. That is a burner. I'm going to chase that. I have a feeling I'm having one shot tonight. Well, let me lube myself up a little bit more. The United States government has, for all intents and purposes, have come out just outright and said UAPs are real. What they are, nobody knows. Some people believe that they're top secret aircraft manufactured by a distant foreign power, it's already getting to me, a distant foreign power to monitor things in U.S. airspace and to scare American citizens. Others believe that UAPs are extraterrestrial aircraft from other planets, and beings from planets unknown are studying humans and have been doing so for a millennia. But there's two brothers, Edward and Fred May, which I'm pretty sure are still alive. They'll tell you for sure that they know that it's creatures from another planet. It was in September of 1952, the 12th of September. And on this fall evening, Edward and Fred May were heading home. And they had their friend Tommy with them, Tommy Heyer. And as they're walking down the path to their house, they see a bright light in the sky descending at an oblique angle. And it was heading in the direction of the Bailey farm. Well, the boys stopped on the road to watch it. And watch it descend onto the Bailey farm behind a row of trees, hitting the earth with an audible thud. Well, if you were young young men, what would you do? You'd probably run home and tell your folks. Well, when they got to the house, the only person home was Kathleen May, and they told her what they had seen, and they convinced her to follow them to the Bailey farm. On the way, they picked up two more children, Neil Hundley and Ronnie Shaver. I was actually incorrect. Ronnie Shaver was a member of the National Guard, the Virginia National Guard. He asked what was going on, and they explained to him what they saw. And they were worried that an airplane had crashed on the Bailey farm. So Ronnie went home and got his flashlight, and they set forth towards the farm. By this time, it was well and truly into sunset. As they're climbing up to the top of a small rise, where there was a row of trees, behind the trees they could see a white glowing object. Of course, Ronnie stops them. Being a trained soldier, he's not about to blunder into an unknown situation. All of a sudden, they heard a noise in the brush beside them. Ronnie is shining his flashlight around, and the other people are very apprehensive. All around them was a thick, nauseating smell of sulfur dioxide. It was making them feel queasy. Ronnie headed towards the brush, but he didn't see anything. Feeling emboldened, Kathleen and the two sons and their friend approached the brush. When all of a sudden they heard a brushing noise behind him, something brushing against the ground. And when he turned around, there it was. It's been described variously between 7 and 12 feet tall. A large creature with large spindly arms outstretched and 3 claw-like appendages at the end of each arm. It was underneath a helmet that was shaped like the ace of spades, and it was just a copper-colored round face with 2 luminous red eyes. Well, Ronnie shines the flashlight into the face of the creature, and at that point, beams of light projected forth from the creature's head, striking them, scaring them beyond scared. They froze in their tracks when suddenly the creature lunged at them through the brush. Well, that's all it took to break the spell. Kathleen, Ronnie, and Eddie and everybody, they just broke and ran. And they ran back down the small rise, back out into the street. When they turned around, the creature was retreating back into the brush. Well, they ran home. And of course, they called the police. Well, the police show up. And they were in the area because they, too, were responding to eyewitness accounts of an airplane crashing on the Bailey farm. Well, the police went there the next morning, and in a field just on the other side of the rise, they saw 2 long skid marks in the soil. Underneath was a puddle of that very strong sulfurous-smelling material. Well, the first thing they did was, the police, was to run back to the station and call the Air Force. Well, the Air Force arrives the very next day, so now we're looking at take 3. Cordon off the area, warn everybody away, and leave. So Ed and Ronnie, the oldest, they decide they're going to go up to the farm and look and see what the police saw. But when they got there, the mysterious dark pool of liquid had been removed and the skid marks had been raked over. There was no sign of anything. They went up to the hill where they saw the creature and found absolutely nothing. Someone had been over that property with a fine-tooth comb, had cut brush, beaten down the grass, and there was nothing. The police, of course, they called the Air Force, and the Air Force told the police that all the young people, the National Guardsmen, the mother Kathleen, Ed and his brother, the other friend, all they had seen was a large barn owl sitting on the limb of a tree. And they were confused by the rising moon behind the hill. Barn owl. Rising moon. Hang on one second. There we go. It is getting dark out here. Now this skeleton right here is a fairly good representation of the skeleton of an owl. Hardly the 7 to 12 foot tall monster. About a week after the incident, all 6 of the people who went up that hill and saw the creature started feeling ill. So they went to their local doctor, who had no explanation for it. He suggested they go to the nearby large town and go to the hospital there, which they all did. It is said that they were all suffering from very mild radiation poisoning. So what did Ronnie and Ed and Kathleen and the others, what did they see? Some tall, indescribable creature from another planet? A harmless, innocuous barn owl? Some large creature hitherto unknown to man wandering through the woods of Virginia? Did they mistake the space creature for Mothman? I mean, the creature could have been Mothman. Was it some mysterious creature that had survived from the prehistoric past? A normal creature unknown to us? What was it? We'll probably never know. But I can tell you right now that it wasn't a barn owl. Poor Ed and his brother, to this day, have stopped giving interviews because they're tired of being laughed at. But if you go to Flatwoods, Virginia, they've embraced the creature. They have a Flatwoods festival every year. You can see representations of the creature. You can buy souvenirs. But don't expect the May family to be very enthusiastic about that. I think that helicopter's coming for me. I better run out to the front and pop some green smoke. Maybe they'll land. You probably don't want me telling a story. Somewhere along here I'll put a link to my black helicopter story. Now I know those are true, but those are real. Anyway, thanks for joining me, folks. I really appreciate you watching. Next video will have another mysterious tale. Whether it be some kind of cryptid creature or tales of supernatural spirits or extraterrestrial beings, I haven't decided. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. There you go. Like and subscribe. I'll put it up here someplace. Click the little bell. Someplace, wherever it is. And remember, in the words of that senator I saw on CNN, who had just left a top-level meeting at the Pentagon where they had a big discussion on UAPs. Make sure you lock your doors tonight. Nighty-night.
I bring you a warning. Every one of you listening to my voice, tell the world, tell this to everybody wherever they are. Watch the skies, everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.